Valley's best R&B and throwbacks to 105.3 WDAS. Frankie Darcell with you, and we've been excited and waiting on the brand new single, Rock With Me, from Kemistry Records. Kim, and he is joining me by phone. What's happening, Kim?
What's up, Frankie? It's Cam. How you doing?
You know you ain't supposed to be sounding like that in the middle of the afternoon one morning. Who you think you're talking to? Let's start there. I mean, for real. I'm like, what? And I'm single? Man, please. Let's do this again. Good afternoon, Kim.
What's happening, Frankie?
There you go. That's like, what? Now you sounding like a serenade coming. What is up with that?
You know what I'm saying? I'm on, yeah.
Cool.
You know,
yeah.
I'm trying to stay on brand.
Yeah, you, bro, you on brand for real. Now, I know you too well to be calling me sounding like that, goddaggit. That's that singer sexy sound.
That's funny.
So we have been banging the brand new single, which is so deserving, All Day Today, Rock With Me, and it happens to be one of my favorite people on the planet. Kim is joining me. What's happening, brother?
What's happening, Frankie?
Everything is good. We're going to start talking with you as well, that you are now back to being the CEO, owning your stuff, Kemistry Records. Quite frankly, I get it. I get the major label, but to hear, that Kemistry Records is alive and well, and you get to go back to your roots, not your roots, your roots. And do your thing. And do your thing. Yeah. Talk about how you got there and now releasing your brand new single. We're going to talk about that as well. But how did you get here?
Well, first of all, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. And I really, really appreciate you throughout the years, and, from the Penobscot building in Detroit to today, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, praise God, right?
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
People have been trying to get me to go back to being an independent artist for years. Mm-hmm. And I've always kind of recoiled at the idea because of uncertainty. And, it's nice having, big budgets and, and being at a label and having, a team of people who are working on your behalf. And we were always kind of independent anyway, even within the major label structure. Whatever the label wasn't doing, we tried to do on our own. Mm-hmm. But Motown has been, as the rest of the record industry, the music industry had been in
flux,
in transition. Right, transition is the more eloquent word, right? The label had been in transition, and I was ready. I knew that I was approaching a time when I wanted to release new music, and I'm looking at the label, and it's like, well, if you want to release a record today, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Within this construct, and there was an opportunity to move to another label within the Universal family, but I really stepped back and said, okay, it's 2025.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for 23 years. Almost 25 years. It's like, you're in a different season of life, and every area of my life is different.
Yeah.
Personally and professionally, the industry has changed. So how do you want to move going forward? And it really made sense to bring it home, to bring everything back in house. And I'm really, really excited about it. I surrounded myself with some industry professionals in every category: marketing, PR, social media, digital marketing, creative A&R, so I wasn't trying to set up a label. I'm just trying to, the infrastructure to put my music back out into the world. And,
But not just put it out there, Kim, and put it out. You want to do it and do it right.
Do it, and to do it right, and to do it in a way that is fitting with the times,
you go.
with
And
the way
your
that
brand.
people are,
and your brand.
my brand, and when I want to, and how I want to, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
we are excited as well. First of all, today debuting the single "Rock with Me," right?
Yeah.
And first of all, what way to reintroduce now because some of it is going back to who and what you were when you started. Everything in between with the label is fine, but there's just a different kind of hum in your voice now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was there a difference from where you were, which was brilliant, to the new brilliance, and now doing it differently today?
Yeah, our if we had an operating manual at Kemistry Records that we handed out to everybody, the front of it would say "Return to Love." Right? It's a return to me and the song and the keyboard. It's a return to the intimacy of just me sitting down and writing a song, not because I'm looking for another hit record, not because, I want to get, more followers. It's me sitting down just because that's what I love. That's what I like to do. Yeah. It's me sitting down and I'm not chasing anything, for the love of it. It's me sitting down as a member of the audience. I'm a member of the audience, and so it really, really is refreshing, and it feels good. Rock with Me is coming just in time for cuddle season. It's it's Love Calls, Can't Stop Loving You, Share My Life. It's those Kim records. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really excited for you all to hear it.
So I've read and I've done South Africa. I was in Johannesburg, Soweto. I had a brilliant time. You talked about that journey, and one of your inspirations for that and the writing of Rock With Me, you talked about like a love letter to your wife, Erica. Is that, how did you connect those two? How did they come together to create this latest single?
When I go to South Africa, the first time I stepped on the continent of Africa, it was like coming home, and I've been away for far too long. I spent too much time away from South Africa, and Erica is home. Erica is home, and Rock With Me is really. And when you go home, and there's work to do at home, and somebody asked me, how did you know, Erica was the one? And it's because I'm willing to do the work, and, how did you know, she was the one? Because I married her, right? Everything that came before, was what, there's love for, there's respect for everything that came before. But this one, I married this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that comes with the responsibility and having to recognize that you have to be willing to really to do the work. I'm vulnerable. I let my feelings show with you because I want you to rock with me. I want you to rock with me. We got in a fight one time, and she said, you act like, you talk to me like you don't love me. I'm like, dude, I love you more than, like, I'm only doing this work because I love you. You don't get in, you don't come out here in the deep. You don't come out here in the deep like this with these kids and all of this stuff, and not be, love has got to be, that's the motivator behind everything that so because I want you to rock with me. Wow. I want you to keep rocking with me. So that's the sentiment behind the record. I know I talk too much.
That's okay. Let me just tell you, brother, your octave changed when you had that conversation. So I get I get the whole rock with you on that. And when you talk about that passion, but you know what, Kim, you always connected some reality, some passion, some love, some life experience to your music. And that's what makes your music so relatable. And that's why it's going to be around, forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
That's
thank
what
you.
does
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's why people respect you as an artist as well, and like to hear these little tidbits of how we get the great songs we get. You know what I mean? I ain't
Yeah.
mad at Erica. That's cool. That's cool. Listen, let's talk about the single "Give My Love."
Yeah, Give My Love is, that's the first single off of Kemistry Records since Love Calls, right? And Give My Love was sent to me by one of my creative partners, Rex Rideout. He sent me the music, and I wrote to it, and it really put us in the mind. It really struck me as, an island vibe, a Afro beat type of vibe, and I think the dust settled somewhere in between Sade vibe, Sade-esque, and then we did a line dance to it. But it's a spiritual song. Yeah, it's a spiritual song, and we did a line. We call Kenny J line dance choreographer extraordinaire, and I flew out and learned this line dance that he created for Give My Love, and was able to bring it home and spend some time in Detroit teaching folks. It's just, it's really, 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 really an exciting time, and I love making what I hope people receive as great music that you can vibe to, and that you can rock with, wherever you are, cleaning the house, driving, whatever you're doing, and I'm really excited about. Thank you for mentioning Give My Love.
Absolutely.
We're having fun with it.
And want to definitely shout out Kenny J right across the bridge in Jersey. That was a lot of fun. And I was going to say, with all your Grammy nods and all of your accolades and the things that you've accomplished and will continue to accomplish, one of the most important is that you got a line dance to your music. All right.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
You were there. Right. You right. You were there. You were hanging out with us.
Yeah. That was
hanging out.
Big fun.
Hanging out with us.
Yeah, that was big fun. Big fun. You've made it when you get a hustle or line dance to your music. That's big.
You know what I'm saying?
That's big. You were talking about how you come up with your music, your relationship with the keyboards as well. And it's because you've shared yourself, not only an accomplished recording artist and continuing to do your thing, you are also an author. So I've got to mention that as well for people that want to be able to even get to know you. Share My Life, a journey of love, faith, and redemption. As a recording artist and an author, now that it's been a couple of years releasing the book, you share a lot about who you are. Are you glad you did?
I've always been, I try to be, I share a lot, but I don't share it all. Look, right? I ain't tell everything. Look, right?
Can I stop here for 1 second? What just flashback? I remember doing Talk of the Town, and I go there on any topic, and you came into the studio, and I was talking about something hot. And you walked in. I said, "You want to comment?" You were like, "Hell no." You said, "I got people on both sides of the issue. I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself." That just flashed. That just flashed in my memory. But go ahead.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You ain't got to talk. You ain't got to comment on everything. You know what I'm saying? But sharing my story, my life is transformed because people shared their stories with me, and, in this day and age when we posting, our latest outfit or our latest vacation or, our celebrating our latest move and all the, giving ourselves all of these accolades, there's a place for that. But really when people's lives are changed, when you share your brokenness, when you share your struggle, when you share how you got through, your dark night of the soul. And so I try to be transparent and authentic, because that's really the best, that's the best place to be, because you ain't got to pivot when you being yourself.
There you go. Right. I have a good memory, right? Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know how the story goes because it's the truth. Right?
That part. Part, yeah. 1.5 billion streams. Kemistry Records. Kim is my guest. And excited about having you on. The new single is called Rock With Me. And you can find it on all of the streaming platforms. Always good to have you join me on the show. And so glad that your journey continues doing some incredibly brilliant things. You know, and everybody has their favorites. And there's not a Kim song that I can listen to that I don't like. But I got to tell you, Nobody Promised to Love, brother. You know, you're part of my ride music. You know, when people get in my car, right? They get in my car. I have an SUV. They get in my SUV, and I never have the radio on. I don't. I get in their car the first time, like, oh, let me turn the radio on. I'm like, I am the radio. Can we keep it off? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but when I ride, you, Whitney, Alexander O'Neill, and Brenda Russell.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Right? And I'll throw in some Al Jarreau every now and then, but those four are in my deck, right? That's what I listen to when I ride. So when I'm driving between here to go see my brother in Connecticut, it's like a 6-hour ride. When I'm going to Virginia Beach to see my family, it's like a 5-hour ride. That's what I ride to, especially on a beautiful day.
There you go.
And I got to tell you.
Thank you for keeping me in good company. Yeah.
Right. And I'm listening to it all. And do you know, when I drive like that, and that kind of music speaks to my soul, and it's so authentic, the music, and, you know, Brenda Russell just speaks to me for some reason. I don't know what that is, right? And I solve more of my challenges when I'm driving and riding and listening to my favorite artists. And quite frankly, those are my favorite artists with all of my favorite songs. And you're in that deck. And I got to tell you, I hit all the time that when that Promise to Love, it's just does something. Just does something when I listen to it and I'm riding. So listen, as we get ready to close, thank you again, you know, for joining me. And with everything that you're doing here, you know, I wish you nothing but, you know, the very best. I absolutely love you to life. And know that this is the continuance of the incredible journey. What more do you want to do?
You know, that's a heavy question. You know, I want to. I think that there's a Grammy out there with my name on it.
That part, we speaking it into it. We claiming that part. We claiming that. We're claiming that, and it would be great. Look, wait. We're gonna claim that. And we're claiming it for Kemistry Records, which makes it even better. But go ahead.
There you go. I co-sign and receive that. Yeah. I want to do a duet with Sade.
Ooh.
And you know, those are career goals. And continue to make good music and really just be at the end of above all of that, I want to be a good husband and a good dad.
I hear
you
that.
know?
Yeah.
Right? Just let me, you know what I'm saying? Dig this.
Yeah.
Right? We all trying to get, you know, everybody talking about their platform and their brand, and we trying to get followers, and we want to be, you know, and I want to be an influencer. It's like, dude, I just want to influence my house.
Say that part, Daddy. As we close out. Look, I thought when you said I want to, I was like, is he going to say reality show? Would you do one?
Would I do a reality show? Probably. I never put I got that from you. I never put a
comma,
a period where God put a comma.
Right.
It's not my rate. It's not, you know, that's, you know, if I thought that it could be authentic, and I thought that it could, you know, if it was something that I believe that would represent, you know, the things that are important to me, Black love and faith and family, you know, in a way that was authentic and true, I would consider it.
Okay.
You know, and the right number.
Yeah. Okay.
I would consider it.
All right. Any musicians on the way in your household?
Yeah, they're all musically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
You look check at Music by Kim on social media. My Trinity was playing Happy Birthday to my wife. She plays by ear. You know, she sits, she plays by, she hears something and then sits down at the keyboard and starts playing it. You know, she's 4. You know, and my kids are all God bless my wife. She got them all in music class. These jokers read music better. I can't read music. My kids read music.
I'm waiting on when they're playing with you on stage, right?
There you go.
I don't care where you are in the world. I'm going to come and see that one. I am.
There you go.
Yeah, proud of you, brother. Proud of you, brother. When we met, I remember, God bless him, no longer with us, but he said, "There's a brother, Frankie, you got to hear." And I was like, "What? You know, is it J.O.B. at the time?" And but that's when we had a blast, man. I mean, we could take a record, throw it on. We ain't need nobody's permission. They have to have no committee of folk. You know what I'm saying? This sound good. Let's roll with it. Steve Hagerwood, the whole nine, and you were at Blue on Woodward Avenue. You remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember Blue on Woodward Avenue, right there, Grand Circus Park, and it was stand up only. We ended up, after hearing you do your thing for about 2 hours watching your performance. I just was totally, totally blown away. You had started your label, you started doing your thing, and, the rest became history. After that, when you got signed to Motown, everybody was so very proud. I want to also chronicle in this conversation, because people are going to be hearing it around the world, what you've done outside of just the music and your authenticity. You did not forget the people who were there with you. Two situations in particular I want to mention. One, where you came back to the city, and the city of Detroit specifically, and you did a summer concert for maybe a year or two. You did it, I think, at least 2 years. And you provided breakfast for the homeless population. Then you did this free concert. Talk about why you did that. Can you go back to that for one moment before we close? I just want to chronicle that in this conversation.
Yeah, that's Mac and Third, and we did probably I think the first one may have been in 2009, and the last one that we did was in 2014. And Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. And I seize upon every opportunity to give back. And Mac and Third, the free concert was something that was really an opportunity to give back to the community. And actually, the first one took place in Cass Park. And I was Cass Park, which is right down the street from the Detroit Rescue Mission, where I was, a resident in my addiction. So to speak to that community and to keep ties to that segment of the community has always been something that has been near and dear to my heart, and something I consider it a privilege to continue to do, and in many different ways. So thank you for mentioning that. It means a lot.
Yeah, and to see the faces of those men and women who for that day felt so special, and giving that back to them. And finally, when you performed at home, you auditioned some young people, some people that you had played with. And one of your big concerts at then Shane Park, now known as the Aretha, you actually gave some young people. I sat there through the audition and watched you pick who you thought was deserving. And I mean, when I saw you in your work mode, I was like, "Ooh, this dude is intense. I get it. And I had said to you as well. On the front end, I want you to talk about why you felt like it was necessary to select those people who played a role in your success on the front end and having them on stage with you in that big arena. Talk about that first.
Yeah, because I came up, musically, my musical chops. I learned singing in the wedding bands, in Detroit, I was only in one wedding band, Persuasion, and my friend LaWanda from the scene, they used to dance on the scene. I sang next to her. And then I was in a choir at Renaissance Unity with, there's so many musicians. There's so many, Detroit is filled with so many singers and musicians that, somebody will never grace the cover of Billboard magazine, but they working musicians for real. You know what I'm saying? You're doing four sets a night, 4 45-minute sets with 20-minute breaks in between, and then getting up and going, and then getting up in the morning and going to work.
Going to your real job. Yeah.
It was important for me to pay homage to those folks, to LaWanda and to Thornetta Davis.
Oh,
and when I learned they were really they were integral in teaching me how to be on stage, and having the kids there, man, giving an opportunity to kids who are coming up and trying to learn the business.
And they were talented. They were
good.
They were talented.
Yeah,
and
that one young boy, I forget his name. That boy came out there singing "I Can't Stop Loving You." I almost had to have security take him off the stage. I'm like, you can't even. Right.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the one of the major highlight that night was having you actually sing on "Find Your Way." So that's one of the standout memories of performing in Detroit. It was a great time.
Yeah. Kim, if I could do life looking at the crystal ball and do it again, I'd be two things. One, I think I'd be an attorney. I really do. I think I would be an attorney, or if God blessed me so with a beautiful voice, I would have loved to have been able to sing. So I sing. I don't sing well, but I sing, and I sing along with stuff all the time. And I just remember just the thought, because I get so excited when I see artists and how you all get on stage and you captivate an audience with the music, because it all started somewhere as a thought, and then you put it at the time on paper or in a computer, and then you made a melody, and then people loved it, and they pay money to come see you. That's fascinating to me, right? And that's how you captivate an audience.
Too.
and as a playwright, now I'm doing my life in two worlds, radio and theater. I get the creativity of that, and it just gives me so much energy. So I so admire your ability to be able to captivate people in that way. So this sister, for the audience who was listening, had the audacity, as much as I was serious when I said it, I said, I want to sing with you one day. And you called me and said, you said you want to sing, right? I'm doing this thing at Shane Park. I was like, cool. You want to sing? I said, sure. And I was cool with it. I really was. I was cool with it. I said, you can hold a note to sing background. You can do that. Just get back there, wear a cute short little skirt, and get back there and sing background. And you said, no, I want you to do Find My Way. And I was like, what? Find Your Way. I was like, what? I said, I can do that. So I practiced. And I'm going to tell you, Fallon, my daughter, happened to be maybe 12-ish. And we came to the rehearsal. It was nobody in the theater. It was just you, the band, and you were directing. I said, oh, my God, what in the hell have you gotten yourself into? And I got out there, and I did it. I walked off the rehearsal stage, got in the car, and I said to Fallon, Fallon, I'm nervous. I don't know if I can do this. She said, I don't know why you decided you were going to do this anyway. I said, I was looking for your support. I don't know why you decided you were going to do this anyway. And she said, well, you can't turn back now. Can you still practice? So, locked up, did everything I needed to do. The night was beautiful. The vibe was beautiful. The performance was on point, and then it was my turn. When I tell you my wig was soaking wet, I was sweating bullets. And I went out there, and I looked at you, and I went blank. And you grabbed my hand. I want to say, I almost feel like I want to cry. You literally grabbed my hand. You put your mic to the side, and you said, you got this.
Yeah.
And you looked me in my face, and I just stared at you while I sang that. And Kim, I cannot tell you, at this stage of my life, and when I was diagnosed with cancer, and I think about the great moments and the blessings that have come my way, I don't have a complaint in the world. And I just want you to know, and we've talked about this before, but this moment, to let you know how much that meant to me. that you allowed me to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you think I sound for real, but God damn it, you let me do it anyway.
No, it was.
Thank you. That was a special moment.
It was a great moment, but even more than all of that, we've been talking about it. We go back, and the blessing that you have been to people all over the world, in our communities. But these stories, this Frankie Darcell energy, this vibe has been resonating for what seems forever, and it cannot be overstated. The blessing that you've been to us, the blessing that you have been to us, the ways that you have, talk of the town, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dropping so many gems on us, the way that you show up for the community, the way that you show up for your sisters out here, continue to show up and been doing it. You are, one of a kind. And we appreciate and love you, and I appreciate and love you. So ain't nothing you can do about that.
I love it. And so, brother, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for what you've given me in my life, and to the people that you will probably never meet, never talk to, never shake a hand, never take a selfie. To those people whose lives that you have touched in many ways through your music, through the writing of your book, and just being the authentic brother that you are. We just say thank you always.
Thank you, Frankie. Thank you for rocking with me. I appreciate.